Today, we're going to explore a powerful idea that can change the way you attract women, especially as you get older. Interestingly, it has nothing to do with money, looks, or those cheesy pickup lines you often see online. The idea is that two simple words can activate something much deeper in the female brain, triggering emotional connection points that many men don't even realize exist. The speaker promises to reveal these words, explain the science behind them, and highlight a small detail that most people miss. Yet this detail is what separates the men women forget from the ones they can't stop thinking about. He begins by explaining that he has studied thousands of interactions between men and women over the years. From his perspective, the men who attract the most aren't necessarily the best looking or the richest, but those who master direct emotional communication. While many men struggle through conversations trying to please everyone or avoid mistakes, the ones who stand out do something different. They communicate in a clear and emotionally direct way. According to him, these two master key. Words supposedly unlock responses in the subconscious mind by creating what he calls positive emotional anchoring. The first word is, I want. At first, it may sound too simple, but he explains that when a man confidently says, I want, he takes responsibility for his own desires instead of seeking permission or hesitating. This, he argues, signals leadership and decisiveness, traits that are often associated with masculine energy. He contrasts weak or uncertain phrasing like, maybe we could do something later if you want, which he interprets as insecurity and lack of direction, with more direct statements such as, I want to take you out to dinner on Saturday. In his view, this kind of clarity communicates confidence, leadership, and emotional strength, which can create what he refers to as sexual polarity, where initiative and direction are naturally attractive. The second word is I appreciate, which he describes as even more important because it balances desire with emotional depth. If a man only says I want, it may come across as self-centered, but combining it with I appreciate creates balance. For example, instead of simply saying, I want to see you again, he suggests saying, I want to see you again because I really appreciate the way you think, or acknowledging the depth of her personality rather than just physical appearance. This, he argues, makes the interaction more meaningful because it shows that the man notices and values her beyond surface-level attraction. He further explains that most men tend to focus only on appearance when giving compliments, while this approach emphasizes personality and essence. According to him, genuine appreciation creates a feeling of being seen and chosen, which women can strongly sense. This combination of desire and appreciation is presented as something that makes a man more attractive because it blends initiative with emotional awareness. However, he warns that the effectiveness of these words depends on congruence. In other words, body language, tone, and speech must align with the words being spoken. Saying, I want while appearing insecure, such as looking down, slouching, or speaking hesitantly, sends a conflicting message. The listener, according to him, will pick up on these inconsistencies immediately. Therefore, he emphasizes standing confidently, maintaining eye contact, and speaking with calm assurance when expressing desire, and slowing down to show sincerity when expressing appreciation. He concludes by explaining that these words should not be used mechanically in every conversation. Instead, they should be used strategically in moments that matter, especially when trying to create emotional impact or lasting memory. For example, at the end of a meaningful interaction, saying something like, I want to do this again. I really appreciate the energy you bring is described as a way to create a strong emotional impression. According to him, this leaves a lasting positive association, so that the person remembers the feeling of being valued, understood, and desired.